So I do feel that there were big plans made with this earth sign, and now you're going through the revision process, whether or not it's still feasible to move forward with these plans. So I do feel that, for example, if you're planning to take a trip together, you both might be deciding on, where to go, and you're not seeing eye to eye. So, that can play out in a mundane way, okay? You're not really seeing eye to eye, and you're not willing to compromise as to where you want to take the trip. I do feel if it's less serious, if it's in that situation where it's less serious, both parties are just trying to argue, just to argue. I do feel that at the end of it, you're going to reach a good compromise. And I do feel that you and your partner, if you're whoever it is that you're planning to take this trip with, if it's a romantic partner, or if it's just in a friendly environment, both parties will give in and, compromise with one another. So you don't really have much to worry about here. I also feel as well, for those of you who might have been in a past relationship with a water sign, there might be a situation of, where truths are definitely coming to light towards the end of this month, okay? If you have been dabbling with a water sign, for example, or even, if you've had a falling out with an earth sign, I do feel either way, a lot of enlightenment is happening here for you, and you're going to have to decide which romantic partner you want to be with, because the Two of Cups, when the Two of Cups shows up in a reading, I do feel that on an intuitive and on a soul level, we know who we want to be with. So that definitely is coming through for you. You know who you want to be with, so you can't really have it both ways. If you've been juggling two people, a water sign and an earth sign, and I feel like the earth sign might be somebody from the past, I do sense that you're going to have to decide once and for all who it is that you want to be with, because this situation should not drag on past the third week of the month, because we can end up with a Ten of Swords situation where truths are coming to light. You might be dabbling with two people, they know about it, and I do feel that, you might end up empty-handed if you're not careful, okay? So Geminis, take care of yourself accordingly and try to, rectify the situation if that's something that you're in. I do feel that there is a very, very strong energy of a past relationship coming through as well, okay? The way the cards are showing up. We have the World here at the center of the spread, okay? So I do feel that once again, if you are involved with an earth sign, there is a lot of emphasis placed on, making plans together. You have high hopes and expectations, and I do feel that either you or this earth sign, you're planning the next phase of your life together, and there are, as a result, a lot of entanglements that could have happened, okay? Or that will be happening. So if you are making too many plans with another person, and if your plans or the next phase in your life is too dependent or contingent upon the actions of another person, I do feel you want to be a little bit careful, okay? If it's in a love situation and you've been together for a long time, then that's totally fine. But I do feel if it's a new person and you're pretty much jumping the gun and planning, the next 5-10 years of your life together, that's just silly. So be mindful of that energy coming through for you, okay? Because I do feel that you, throughout this month, September, you are going to have to revisit a lot of your plans, and if they're not on firm footing, if there is no strong foundation for it, it might fall apart, okay? So that's something I want you to be careful about. I also sense as well that if you are single and you're getting that blast from the past, somebody that have let you down in the past based on the plans that didn't fall through with them, and you're thinking about, you're considering, reconciliation or rekindling that romance, I want you to be careful as well, okay? In some instances, exes can work. In very rare cases, exes can come back through and, things can work out. But I do feel that it might be a little bit problematic, especially during a Mercury in retrograde, and especially if we have the Ten of Swords also in the reverse position. What I'm sensing here is there is a situation where there is somebody new that you have a very strong emotional rapport with. There is somebody new, okay? And you're kind of turning your back on this new energy. You're turning your back on, potentially this very fruitful, very soothing, very a good match, you know, coming through for you. You're kind of turning your back on it and you're going towards back to something else. Okay, so that's the danger that I'm sensing. So if that's a situation that you're grappling with for the rest of this month, take a step away from whatever situation you're in. Refrain from making that decision to go back to past people and past situations, past environment. And, you know, try to look forward. Try to see what is in front of you, okay? Because I do feel that something is trying to break through and you are turning your back on it. And it could be, you know, you're in the past, you have an earth sign and then you have a water sign coming through and you're turning your back on this potentially fruitful relationship with a water sign because of a previous engagement you've made with an earth sign, and the earth sign might not have followed through with plans and ideas. So that's something you want to take a step back and reflect upon. Okay, is it worth it? Or would you rather, you know, have something new without the emotional baggage? Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. For those of you who are involved with water signs this month, I do feel that the water sign is showing up as a king. So kings usually are people that are very emotionally mature and they know what they want. Usually, in most cases, I do feel in this situation, kings know what they want, and kings are willing to put in the hard work. They're willing to invest the time, the energy, if you mean a lot to them, okay? So you will know based on their level of emotional investment whether or not you make the cut, and I do feel that this is a person that has a lot to offer. So don't shy away from this water sign. I do feel that it looks favorable, okay? And it can be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and I do feel very, very strong. I do feel like a very strong, let me see here. Cancer, Cancer. I do feel a very strong Cancer, Scorpio vibe with this person. So it looks very, very favorable for you. But either way, I do sense that there's a lot of information being exchanged this month where, you know, the information is like friendly. So I do feel even if there is conflict, even if there is debate, it is friendly, conflict-free type of debate, okay? You might have to like assert your opinions. The other person might throw a few rebuttals back at you for you to strengthen and defend your opinions, but I don't feel anything like you know, like a massive blowout or anything like that, like with the Tower. So I do feel that overall it's a nice settled energy for this month. I also don't feel a very busy kinetic month coming through for you on the work front. I do sense situations where you might have to revisit the work front. You might also have some type of an interaction with potential like co-workers as well, work partnerships, work associates that you might have to revisit in terms of communication styles, like not being able to see eye to eye on a lot of things. So that situation needs to be revisited. In terms of people coming back from the past, I do feel it's more on the romantic front. And either way, there is going to be a lot of information siphoning through. A lot of truths and revelations coming through with the Ace of Swords and the Hangman in the upright position. So what you decide to do with this information, I do feel that it is in your best interest to mull it over, sleep on it, and also execute new plans, possibly by the end of this month. And if you can wait, like, you know, wait until October if you're not pressed for time. If you don't have to make any major decisions, try to delay them until October after the Mercury in retrograde period, okay? But overall, I don't feel any jarring energies coming through because obviously we have the Fool, we have the Two of Cups, which indicates to me harmony, especially like a truce reach between relationships, okay? Important relationships, not just frivolous, you know, mindless relationships with acquaintances, but these are like deep-rooted, serious relationships where you're going to feel quite happy and quite pleased with the amount of work that your partner is putting in to sustain the relationship, and also the amount of love and appreciation that is being shown from you to your partner, or vice versa, from your partner to you, all the way around for this month. I also sense that you know, with the Ten of Swords here in the reverse position. At this point, Geminis, I do feel like a lot of Geminis in general have very, very good insights, okay? Especially like Gemini suns. You have very good insights into people's motives. You have very good insights into people's character. And you are also a very good judge of character. You don't interact with somebody long enough to... what I'm sensing is, it's not that you don't interact with somebody long enough. You have a lot of good and truthful and, just profound insights into people that you meet, okay? Like, so from the get-go, you can pretty much sum them up in a few words, okay? And you would have a very accurate assessment of somebody's true intentions and their true characters. However, you don't let that, whatever it is that you're feeling towards them, you don't let that bias your interaction, and you always give people a chance, okay? So I'm going to say that for this month, heed your intuition, and maybe you have these assessments of people, maybe that skill is intrinsic to you for a reason, okay? So in terms of mitigating the effects of this Ten of Swords in the reverse position, you know what people are really capable of. So at this point, cut your losses, and no one is going to say that you're being petty by not giving them another chance after they've not followed through with their promises, or they've reneged on their responsibilities in the past interactions with them. If they have proven themselves to be untrustworthy, there is no need for you to prove to them or to prove to the people you're dealing with that you're forgiving, okay? There's no need to put yourself through this situation over and over again just to make a point, okay? So I don't feel that it would be in your best interest to let people back in, especially if they have not been at their best, and especially if they have just, they don't know what it means to be in a true partnership, okay? You have a good gauge or a good barometer of what is proper in a relationship in terms of give and take. So exercise your judgment, and you don't need to prove anything to anybody except yourself, okay? You don't need to prove to anybody how loving and how forgiving you can be, okay? Because people that are still around you understand that you are very loving and forgiving. So just let the past go and move on with your life, okay? There's no need to prove a point here. I also feel as well on the professional front, I am not getting a single Pentacles card. However, well, except for the Knight, and that's in the reverse position. So, however, I do have the World here. So a lot of expansive opportunities are coming through for you. So there's no use to, having lingering attachments with the past. And at the same time, I do feel that this is a very, very good week for wrapping things up, okay? So it's pretty much truths coming out, wrapping things up, moving forward, okay? It's very, streamlined. So you're going to have a very, very good, productive month. I do feel on the love front, we have the Two of Cups, so it's a very, very favorable card. I do sense as well, even though it's the Two of Cups, you are surrounded by generally good cards. There's definitely something that needs to overcome the beginning of the month in this relationship. And in the past, you might not have adequately addressed this, but moving forward, you do want to be on the same page. And I do feel that, philosophically, you and whoever it is that you're in this Two of Cups relationship with, this is a very strong soulmate connection. You and whoever it is needs to overcome a slight hurdle in order to achieve greatness in your relationship, in order to achieve stability and longevity in this relationship. So what I'm sensing is, regardless of whatever conflict has been happening in the past, and this is a slight conflict, okay, where philosophically you're on the same page, but you're not expressing your philosophical needs or your long-term plans in mutually aligning ways, I would say. So this is the month in which there is going to be a situation where communication comes through, and you're both going to be able to align your paths with one another, and you're starting to see the big picture where you both fit into one another's lives, okay? I do feel for a lot of you, it is going to be like an earth sign or a water sign, but either way, there is expansive energy coming through that is going to be conducive for a relationship and furthering an existing relationship.